The next fractal is a Twilight Oasis, which is in the Crystal Desert, a long time ago, and you'll be playing as a Mordant Crescent underneath Poala Joko.
Originally, we wanted to design a fractal that was going to tie in with the expansion, so we wanted to make sure we had something that would kind of develop more of the backstory of some character. And we decided to go with Poala Joko for this because everybody's a big fan, and we really thought there was some kind of missing context for people who played the expansion.
When the idea of playing for Joko's side came up, we all were really excited about the prospect of having Joko come in and give you orders.
Get to killing.
He's recruiting people, he's turning them into awakened, he's building a big army, and you are part of that army. And you will be performing some acts of questionable morality for him.
You're playing as Mordant Crescent, which are basically sun spirits who've been corrected by Joko's influence, and you're following his orders.
Drown these streets in sunspear blood.
You've been promised riches or power or something in order to join Poala Joko, and now you're kind of seeing the conquest of Alona from his side.
As you're running through the fractal, you'll actually have VO interactions with some sun spears that recognize you before your fall.
You betrayed us. Come to your senses. Help us stop the slaughter.
You are someone who they've known or that you've turned on them, that they're kind of angry with you.
I don't know who you are, traitors, but you deserve your death.
They feel like you're a traitor or you have a weak will, so you've been brainwashed by Joko.
You've turned your back on the sun spears? Weak-willed traitors! You can't be allowed to live!
So they have different reactions to your presence.
So this fractal takes place shortly after the events in Nightfall, whenever Poala Joko has started his campaign to kind of take over all of Alona.
And so to tell the story about Joko, we wanted him to be ruthless and methodical.
There can be no mercy for the enemies of King Joko, the beloved.
Joko arrives and does what Joko does. He makes his awakened and he raises you from the dead. And you become even more powerful because of that. You are his elite group.
Basically, you're awakened by Joko, and we wanted to make sure you felt a little bit more powerful as awakened.
So at one point, you'll get an SAS skill or a special action button, and it's a little button that pops up on your screen above your skill bar. And in this instance, it allows you to jump incredible heights.
So originally, the special action skill enhanced reflexes that you get during this fractal was just very similar to the one that you got in Dry Top that just lets you jump really high. We just did some simple things to make it just feel better and also just work well with the content. So it really felt like you were using this skill like a dodge, not just like a jump.
We wanted to make sure there's a movement-based skill revolving around, that sort of power.
We wanted you to be able to navigate the same environment from a different perspective.
So Jeff Weber was building the map with this special action skill in mind. All of the jumps are pretty much the perfect height for this. There's a lot of really open spaces on the rooftops for you to kind of jump around and do combat. And then the final boss room is built around the skill as well. There's the 5 alcoves that you have to jump to using the special action skill. And then just throughout the fractal, all the combat and things is kind of designed with you using the special action skill in mind.
It helps tell the narrative of the player dying and being resurrected as a Mordant Crescent, an awakened Mordant Crescent. And now you have these new abilities that make you stronger and just bigger than life. So as you work through the Twilight Oasis, eventually you'll meet High Priestess AMALA, who is a dervish of immense power and a servant to the gods.
She is holed up in the city with the Sunspear army, trying to kind of protect the villagers who are there and fight back against Joko. High Priestess AMALA is an incredibly powerful dervish with also some elementalist powers, who is a leader of the Sunspears at this time in their fight against Joko.
This village is full of a lot of followers of the gods.
You will see in the arena the statues of the 5 gods. They're very large and there's alcoves for each of them, and these actually play a big part of the mechanics of the fight.
There are various priests and priestesses, and AMALA is by far the leader of them. They imbued themselves with the powers of the gods to do different attacks.
We were very keen on looking at what the different gods represented. As she's sweeping her scythe across the arena, you're going to see these patterns that are just kind of erupting from whatever theme that god is. So in Melandria, you'll see earth shards coming out of the ground. In Balthazar, you'll see flame explosions. I'm hoping that players will like this fractal for the fact that we're kind of returning to the roots of fractals. We're building something that's not just a boss encounter. It's something that gives you more story and more context into part of the world. It's something that's clearly set in the past. And then it culminates with a boss fight that is unique in its own way and is visually stunning.